You know, maybe I should keep this one, honestly. It's pretty useful. Shake your head, kid. Your eyes are stuck. Yeah, it was pretty obvious you were staring. Never seen a drow before, huh? Well, I guarantee that I'm very much not the strangest thing that you'll see at the night market here. Although I might be one of the prettiest. First time at the night market, huh? Well, you don't look like the typical ghouls and hags and other unsightly folk that are usually my clientele here. You kind of stand out. So what's your story, kid? What are you doing here at the night market? You looking for something specific? Maybe a curse for a particularly dangerous enemy of yours? Something like that? Alright. You don't have to tell me. If there's one thing that we do very well at the night market here, it's discretion. I don't really care anyway. As long as you pay, that's all I care about. I'm not responsible for items once you buy them. What do I sell? Well, my stall here, you will find some very unique items that I guarantee none of these wannabes here at the night market have to sell. For the magical items and the artifacts that I have come straight from the Underdark. Oh, that intrigues you. It should. I have quite a few very fascinating items. Very powerful, many of them quite dangerous, and all of them very useful. Would you like to see some of them? You sure you can handle it? I do have some things that are a little bit unsightly, I suppose. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Alright, that's fine. If I've learned anything in my life, it's don't judge someone by their appearance. People often surprise you, huh? Alright, that's fine. You know, most of these items, technically, a surface dweller like you is not even really supposed to see them, if we're being technical. But times is hard. Girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Besides, what's the benefit of being a treasure hunter if I don't get to sell my treasures, right? Exactly. I mean, of course I keep some of the best for myself, but girls gotta eat. So let's start with something a little bit simple. We'll work up to some of the scarier ones. I wouldn't want to spook you too soon. Alright. I'm sure a big brave adventurer like you can handle it, huh? Okay. Well, here, let's start with this one. Pretty common item. A lovely ring like this. Now this is a ring of Antivenom. So this ring will protect you completely from any sort of natural poison or venom. Anything that just sort of happens on its own. A venomous spider bite or snake bite. Anything that's made just with mixing herbs and things like that. This will protect you. No damage, no adverse effects whatsoever. Now, if the poison is magical, you know, if it's actually being combined with some sort of magic, not just mixed together, then that's a little bit more powerful. This will still grant you resistance to those items, so it'll still be less damage. But anything that is naturally occurring, this will completely keep you safe. Quite an unusual item. Rather rare. You don't just find these at any old jewelry shop. Very useful. Especially for someone who frequents the Underdark with all of those nasty crawlies all over the place. Well, what do you call nasty crawlies? Intriguing too? Sure, yeah, I'll put that one to the side for now. Now that is a very rare item, so obviously the price reflects that. But you know, we'll talk price at the end, maybe. Huh? But good to know that that's intriguing to you. Let's see, what else is something that is not too scary yet? These might be interesting to you. They might just look like normal bracers. They're made of a very strong leather. Have these reinforced studs on here too. Quite strong. And they're held together with this very strong black cord as well. So they are very strong, just as armor. But these are known as bracers of the blinding strike. So these bracers increase your reflexes and your agility in battle. So you're able to attack quicker, get in more attacks than your opponent, and react quicker to other people's attacks. Very useful. Something like this could certainly save your life someday. Those are intriguing too. Alright. Good to know. Get into a lot of fights where that would be useful. Kit, don't worry about it. Like I said, discretion is key here. Don't have to be so tight-lipped. We're all friends, right? Here, let me get you something else. This one is something very, very special to the Drow. I know that you won't find this anywhere else, and most people find it quite enjoyable. Just a second. Here we are. Have you ever seen a beverage this color before? Only potions. That's true. Well, this is not a potion. It's not magical at all, actually. This is wine, believe it or not. This is green wine, or Drow Green wine, I suppose some people call it. See, this is wine that's not made from spider venom, as the rumors may say. Although, you know, that would be a very interesting beverage too. No, this is actually made from a particular mushroom that grows in the Underdark. And then you ferment it with another kind of fungus that can grow in the Underdark without any sort of natural sunlight or something like that. Very unique plants. And they make a very unique beverage. Drow Green wine. Would you like to try some? Sure, on the house. It's not a taste that everyone likes, but I find it quite good. There. Give that a taste if you'd like. Not for you, huh? I suppose it is a little bit strong. Nothing like the weak wine that you drink here on the surface. Not for the faint of heart, I guess. You know, I do have another kind of wine, actually, that is still very special to the Underdark, but is maybe a little bit more similar to the wine that you're used to, okay? Let me try that one. It's over here. Now this one looks a little bit more normal. Probably a bit darker than what you're used to for wine. This is called deep wine. And again, it's only made in the Underdark. And this is made from a very special kind of grape that can grow in the dark without any sunlight whatsoever. Quite a robust flavor. Very enjoyable. Would you like to try some of this one? Okay. There we are. Let's see how you like this one. Look at that deep color. Very unique. Very strong. Probably only want a sip of that one. Is that one a little more to your taste? Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, that one I do have for sale, if you would like. You keep sipping that. That's perfectly fine. But if you'd like the whole bottle. Okay. I'll put it away for now. But you know where it is if you change your mind. There we are. Put that away for now. Now, are you looking more for magical items or things more having to do with information, learning different skills, things like that? Well, I do have a few books that contain quite a lot of knowledge that surface dwellers like you probably wouldn't even dream of. Here, let me grab one. This one is very common with surface folk. No. Yes. This book, it's a rather large book. This is not particularly a magical item, but it is filled with all kinds of magical knowledge in it. Maybe that would still be intriguing to you. See, this was written by members of the House of Obladron long, long ago, long before the time of the spell plague. This is called Crystallic Healing and the Psychometabolist. And it is chock full of different techniques of magic having to do with psionic magic. Do you know what psychometabolism is? Probably not. Psychometabolism is a type of psionic magic that has to do with healing as well as biological transformation. Many, many, many intriguing possibilities that one can learn if they dedicate themselves to the psionic arts. Quite an interesting read. Something that might interest you. No. I suppose it's a bit overwhelming to completely change one's study of magic. Quite intriguing. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. Got some other things that I think might very much intrigue you. Put that down for now. Ooh, like this. If you didn't want to take the time to learn different kinds of magic, you could also purchase an item like this. Quite a few magical wands are charged, so to speak, with a special kind of spell. So it doesn't take any of your magical energy to cast the spell. It's all contained inside of the wand. And most of them have, you know, a certain number of times each day that you can cast that spell. Now this is called a Wand of Web. Now, the web spell is one of my personal favorites. From the tip of the wand will shoot out a huge mass of sticky spider web. Covers quite a large area. It can entrap your opponents, make it more difficult for them to walk or run. And it can also serve as, you know, a way to traverse a giant ravine or something like that. You never know when you might need a very large amount of spider webs. Can certainly come in handy. So if you didn't want to take the time to learn a new spell, you could just pick up an item like this and then get to cast it whenever you wanted. Maybe. Alright. You know, I do have a few other items that are not magical spells, but, you know, still have sort of magical effects, I suppose. This one, it might not look like much just from a glance, but it is quite powerful. This is called a Mask of Silence. Just a very, very simple construction. Lightweight, nothing special. But when you are wearing this mask, anyone who sees you will completely forget that they have seen you as soon as they turn away from you. That's right, quite intriguing. An amazing tool when it comes to slipping into a crowd, or lots of other possibilities. You could even directly rob someone, and they could watch you do it, and then as soon as they turn around to yell for the guards, they would forget that they'd even seen you. Completely forget anything. Quite intriguing. A very, very rare item. One that I'm sure you understand is very, very useful, especially in my line of work, so of course the price reflects that. But depending on what you were looking for, depending on what you were trying to accomplish, this could be quite a useful purchase. Or I do have another mask. This one, far more intricate, still very, very intriguing. This mask is called the Mask of Mystery. This one actually is charged with a spell, like I said with the wand. When you are wearing this mask, you can cast the spell Disguise Person once per day. So you can alter your appearance in some way to blend in with a crowd, blend in with your surroundings, even infiltrate a place. Quite useful. It also increases your deception, and often your charm as well. It's a very, very powerful item, which of course is reflected in the price. I'm sure you understand. understand. Very intriguing. You're looking for something even more rare. Have you ever seen this before? Alright, alright, alright. I do have a few things that are specifically made by the Drow. Now, to my understanding, these items have never been sold to a surface dweller before, but for the right price, I could be persuaded to change that. Let's start with, I know just the thing. Right there. Here we are. This is a very special weapon. It's called a death lance. Or a death spear, I suppose some people call it that. It's a weapon specially made by the Drow. And it's a long spear that has been imbued with negative energy. You can see it's got these two almost sort of claw-like barbs at the end. And when these impale your victim, it will slowly drain away their life force. So, every hit that you make with the Death Lance makes your opponent that much weaker, and you that much stronger. All you have to do is land that first hit, and after that, the battle is almost certainly yours. Quite an intriguing weapon. But like I said, incredibly, incredibly special to the Drow. I don't know of any other surface dweller who has ever been offered something like this. So, of course, the price reflects that. I'm sure you understand. Of course. You know, I do have another thing, too, that is specially made by the Drow. Just a moment. Now this is another very special, very unique Drow-made item. This is called a flash globe. And inside of this globe, there is a distillant of deep cap mushrooms, which, as you can see, is rather luminous inside of there. Now, if you take this flash globe and you throw it on the ground, it will shatter. It's just made of glass. And that distillant will get all over everything within about a 10-foot radius or so. If it gets in their eyes or on their skin, it's actually an irritant. And the flash of light, if it's a creature who is sensitive to light, like a drow or like many other creatures of the Underdark, it will temporarily blind them. They won't be able to do anything about it until they take the time to actually wash their eyes. And like I said, it's also an irritant, so their eyes would sort of burn. It also makes a creature sort of glow with this aura around them, which makes them much easier to hit, especially if you're fighting in the dark. The Drow generally use these to fight mind flayers in the Underdark. Every once in a while there may be another creature or even another Drow that we may need to use it against. But as far as I am aware, again, an item like this has never been offered to someone like you. So of course the price reflects that. Yes, you're catching on. Good. Good. Quite interesting though, right? Poisons? I thought you'd never ask. Just a moment. I've got a few different poisons here that are very, very specific to the Underdark. Now this one is called Carrion Crawler Brain Juice. Now this is made from, you'll never guess, the brains of carrion crawlers. You have to pulverize the brains and then process the juice and other byproducts in a certain way. And this is an ingredient that can be used in quite a few rare potions, but you can also use it as is too, as a very, very strong paralytic. Now, it's not fatal, this one, but it is very, very fast acting. As soon as it comes into contact with another creature's skin, as long as it's not protected by magic or something like that, they will be paralyzed temporarily. This is a very, very useful potion if you're in the business of bounty hunting, assassinations, anything like that. Very, very powerful. Very useful. So that's one possibility. Unless you were looking for something that is maybe a bit more deadly. Alright. Well, this one is actually another one that's, it's not quite deadly, I would say, but what you can do afterwards, obviously that can be quite deadly. This is another specifically made by the Drow item. This is called Drow Knockout Poison. It's almost a little bit of a sludge, I guess you could say. A very dark color. You can see it's kind of a sticky consistency there. Now, generally how we use this is that we will coat a ranged weapon in it. The tip of an arrow or a crossbow bolt. Or it could be, the tip of a death spear as well. And then, once that item pierces the skin of your victim and gets into their system, it will knock them completely unconscious for 8 hours. Plenty of things that you can do to somebody in 8 hours. You could transport them halfway across a city, all the way out of a city if you would like. Or you could do some other unpleasant things to them. Whatever it is that you need to do, this will keep them completely unconscious, giving you an 8-hour window to work. And of course, if they're already knocked out, if they're starting to stir, you can easily just take another arrow and coat it in this and then get yourself another 8 hours. And then another 8 hours after that. You get the point. Quite a useful concoction, this one is. Quite useful. Quite useful. Not strong enough for you. Alright. I do have another poison. This one is, not for the faint of heart, let's just say that. It's okay if you don't wish to discuss this one. If you'd like, we can skip ahead to something else. But, it's very intriguing. And it's very, You want to hear? Alright. This little beauty is called the Calling. It's a very rare potion. It's difficult to make, difficult to come by the ingredients. And it has to be, the ingredients have to be handled properly, and then it also has to be imbued with a spell before it actually works. Quite detrimental if you get it wrong, too. You see, it's made from the mucus of an aboleth. Do you know what an aboleth is? Alright, don't worry yourself about it. Well, it's made from the mucus of an aboleth. A very, very powerful ancient creature. And very small spider's eggs. You see, this is a poison that needs to be hidden inside your victim's food. It's actually quite simple to do. As long as they're not incredibly well versed at cooking, they won't be able to detect it in their food. And once they ingest it, within a few minutes, the spider's eggs inside of the potion will begin to hatch inside of them. And then, obviously, those spiders cause all kinds of damage, all kinds of harm. And then it gets really exciting, because those little spiders start to crawl out of the victim's nose and mouth. And they create a massive blood web swarm that will attack anything and anyone in the vicinity. So not only have you caused significant damage, oftentimes killing your victim, but you also have quite a powerful swarm of little spiders. Fascinating creatures, spiders. You surface dwellers give them such a bad rapport, but they really are quite fascinating. Very clever, very resourceful, very resilient creatures. And of course, quite a few of them have a wonderful, delicious killer instinct. Very, very, very interesting potion. Not for everyone, like I said, but if there was someone that you really needed to cause some good damage to them, this would be an excellent option. Okay, we'll set this one to the side for now. Interesting. So that one intrigues you. That is a very, very unique item, like I said. Now, I do have one other item. This one I don't even actually have out on display because it is so very, very rare. And of course that's reflected in the price. Yes, of course, of course. But if you were looking for something particularly powerful, this one will not disappoint. It's very rare, very special, especially to us Drow. Would you like to see it? Okay, just a moment. I have it tucked back in a box way in the back, so let me go grab it. Oh, now where did I put that? It was just tucked back here somewhere. Ah, here we are. Here we are. Like I said, I have to keep it locked up because there are all kinds of bottom feeders at this night market that would love to to get their hands on an item like this. But I only show it to those that I feel would truly appreciate it. You sure you want to see it? Alright. It's rather fragile, so you do have to be somewhat careful with it. Here we are. This is the hand of Kieransaalee's glory. Have you heard of a hand of glory before? Well, it's a very powerful, magical totem, really, that the wearer can have all kinds of different benefits for them. Well, this one is specifically the mummified hand of a drow, a very powerful drow sorcerer. And each of these different rings on the hand hold the power to cast a different spell. So, we were talking about the wand of web, where you get the web spell. Well, that's all fine and good, but this is just one spell. This one is 5 different spells, and you could cast each of these once per day, and then it resets every day after you have taken a rest and the item has had some time to rest. But each of these spells is very, very powerful. This one, when you activate this one, it casts deeper darkness. Now, the darkness spell, it creates a very large area of darkness, which can be very useful, especially if you are, a drow or some other creature from the Underdark where, darkness would maybe hinder you, but I have quite good vision in the dark, even better than most other elves. Drow are even a little more powerful. But this one casts deeper darkness, so it makes it even inkier black, and even a drow wouldn't be able to see through it. Quite a powerful spell. Can really get you out of a bind in many different situations. Or this ring here. This one, when you activate it, casts the spell See Invisibility, which means that any creature or item that has been cloaked using invisibility or an ethereal sort of magic will be revealed to you. So if someone is skulking around, or if they've tried to hide something from you that you're trying to find, this little ring right here will allow you to find it with ease, as if it were sitting right in front of you, which it is. Another very, very powerful spell. You don't just come across these spells. Usually they take very long to learn, and to be, a caster strong enough to actually cast them. But this hand will do all the work for you. You just have to activate the ring, and it will cast the spell on its own. Now this one here, this one casts a spell called Ray of Enfeeblement. And when you activate that ring, a green mist will shoot out of the ring towards the target that you specify. And that green mist will begin to drain them of their life energy. It's actually a similar effect to the Deathlands here, except this one works quite a bit faster. And whatever energy is drained from them goes right back to you. Quite powerful. Again, can come quite in handy in any sort of a battle or facing any enemy for any reason. Or there's this one. this one, if you activate it, it activates the spell Chill Touch. Then your hand will glow blue, and any creature that you touch will take quite a bit of cold damage. In fact, it can actually freeze and immobilize someone on the spot for a short amount of time. That can also be a very, very powerful spell. It can get you out of quite a few binds if your opponent is rooted to the spot for a little while. It gives you plenty of time to get away. And then this one actually works very well in tandem with this one, because this one, this little ring right here, activates a spell called Spectral Hand. And when you cast this spell, a ghost-like hand will emerge, and it will be yours to control. And you can use this ghostly hand to interact with different items, as well as to actually deliver a spell that you have to deliver by touch. So you could cast the Spectral Hand, make that hand appear, and then you could cast Chill Touch, and it would actually affect the Spectral Hand. And then that hand could go and touch someone within the range of the spell. Now, the only downside to this one, oftentimes when a spell is very powerful, there may be some pros and cons to it. The only issue is that with this Spectral Hand, if the hand takes damage, you will feel it as well. Anything that happens to the hand will also happen to you. So, although it's not always someone's first instinct to attack a ghostly hand, they'll probably just keep trying to attack you, unless they know the spell Spectral Hand as well. But still a very, very, very powerful spell. And like I said, any of these spells can be cast any time during the day, once per day, every single day. Quite a powerful item. This is by far the most rare item that you will see in any of the night market here. 5 incredibly powerful spells right in the palm of your hand, or the palm of this hand, that you don't have to expend any of your magical energy to cast every single day. Quite powerful. And of course that's reflected in the price. Yeah, okay, you get it. That sounds intriguing to you. Well, I'm glad that it sounds intriguing, but of course we do have to discuss price. An item like this, even at the most rare magical markets, you won't be able to find something like this. But for the right price, I could be persuaded to part with it. 30,000 gold. That should about cover it, I think. Too high. Where exactly are you going to find another hand of Kieransaalee's glory? Where exactly do you think you're going to just come across that? Do you even know who Kieransalee is? Probably not. She was a very, 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 very powerful high priestess of the Drow. Long, long ago. In fact, there's actually an entire religious sect dedicated to the worship of the Lady Kieransalee. I bet you didn't even know that, did you? 30,000 gold, please, if you would like my hand of Kieransaalee's glory. 10,000. 10,000, really? You're going to offer me a third of the very, very generous price that I gave you. I don't think so, kid. You can keep walking. There's absolutely no way that you're getting this for 10,000 gold. I don't think so. 15. That's still only half of what I quoted you. Honestly, for an item like this, 30,000 is quite reasonable, really. And you think you can get away with offering me 15,000? Tell you what, you got some spark, kid, I can tell you that. So, I suppose I could come down to 25,000. Something like that. I could maybe do that for you. $18. I suppose we're getting closer. But, no. I can't do 18. Like I said, anywhere in this world, or even in the Underdark, would you be able to find another hand of Kieransalee's glory? $20. Alright. I think I could maybe part with it for 20,000 gold, if you don't mind. Big spender, aren't you? I don't ask questions. You got the gold, I got the goods. Well, here you are then. You are now the proud owner of one of the most rare magical items you will probably ever see in your lifetime. Use it well. Who am I kidding? I don't care how you use it. All I care is that you had the gold to pay for it. Well, thank you for coming to the night market tonight. I hope that this trip has been worth your time. And I hope if you happen to have any more gold on your person, that perhaps you find some other intriguing items, or at least enjoy getting to look at all of the rarities and the oddities and the dangerous things and fascinating people of the night market. Maybe I'll see you around, kid. Huh? Yeah, I don't really care. Get out of here. Enjoy your hand. Alright.